And we're back again, and this time, he said... Here we go. I'll upload that. We're doing something called an English haunting. Which... Oh. I set it up earlier, but apparently it doesn't remember your settings. Curse you, demo. Because right now it's on full screen, so I can't see anything. So let me just change that to windowed. There we go. And then we'll go over to that. Here we go. An English haunting. It's got no, you still can't see it for some reason. There we go. Popped in finally. Yes, it's all creepy and spooky. So let's have a look at this and see how it's going. This creepy spookiness. Hence we've got some hence the name of this stream. A Wild English Dungeon. So we've had Wild, we've had English, or we're about to have English, and we'll have Dungeon afterwards. But yeah, Point-and-Click adventure, sorry. I should have said that. London, 1907. Look at all those tiny people just walking around down there in the bottom. As with this method, we can determine the time of death within a margin of error of 2 hours. Oh, that's very good. I don't know if I need to click, so I'm going to. You should ask Cooper. You should ask Cooper. Me? Why not you? News, Cooper. It would be interesting if you would share your doubts with the class. Look what you achieved. Bah, coward. Professor Moore? Is it true that you and Professor Ward are devoted to hunting ghosts? My, you have been badly informed. We're devoted to studying them, not to hunting them. Oh, whoa! That's nonsense. Ghosts don't exist. Do you have any conclusive evidence that substantiate that statement, Mr. Cooper? They're a myth. You can't prove a negative anyway. An invention of mankind to scare those of weak minds. And you are the one presenting the thing, so you should be the one who is saying that there is ghosts, so you need to present the evidence that there is. Anyway, you're of weak mind. Very well. Let's see. How many of you believe in God? You can raise your hands. Everybody has raised their hand there. All of you? Well, perhaps you should be studying theology, not forensic medicine. You can lower your hands. I suppose you think the mere belief in him confirms his existence. Is there any supporting evidence? Any photographs? Have any of you seen him taking a stroll in Hyde Park? Very English. Oh. Has anyone talked to him? A pope? Okay, let's set that witness aside for the moment. No one in history has been able to prove it. The only proof we have is faith. That, regrettably, won't do. Gentlemen? Neither I nor Professor Ward assert that ghosts exist. We're cautious with regard to that matter, even if we have reliable witnesses and there are a larger number of cases. Those arguments enough to accept this as a fact? No. We're falling into the same trap you fell into with respect to God. Wow. 1907 and you're spouting off that it's a trap to fall into God. Right. If we investigate these claims with the best tools science has provided us. Our mind? That is, the scientific method. I mean, science didn't provide you with the scientific method. The scientific method came first, and then we called it science. The method I advise you to use before compulsively raising your hands to defend your beliefs. I don't think my father would agree with all this blasphemy. Your father agrees with the idea that students from poorer classes should never be allowed into a university, as well as agreeing to use child labour in his factories. So, with due respect, Mr. Turner, you take your father's opinion and... be interrupted by the door. Come in! You can take your father's opinion and come in. I'm sorry to interrupt, Patrick. I'm sorry to interrupt, Patrick. It's quite alright. What do you need? Look, the Dean wants to see you. Can't it wait? My lecture is almost over. It's a delicate matter, Patrick. Is it about Rose? No, it has nothing to do with Rose. What a relief. I was starting to worry. Talk to him, would you? I'll take care of the lecture. What were you teaching? The scientific method. Apparently these gentlemen don't get it yet. Noted. Queen Victoria there at the top, and I don't know. Prince Albert, I guess? Anyway, gentlemen, the scientific method. One moment. What? Press F1 for instructions. Well, let's assume this is a game that we've never played before. Okay, we can interact with two. This goes at the upper edge of the screen to select an object with the eye for descriptions, then show the help screen, quick load, quick save, and skip dialogue lines. Well, thank you very much. Trophies. Selection of many championship sports trophies the university has won. I can see the polo trophy we won against Harvard in '87. I also remember that cup we won at the cricket against Middlesex. We had a polo championship against Harvard. Harvard in America. In '84. That's not 1984. That's 1884. Really? Somehow I don't think so. Hello, Tom Lee. Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I was admiring the trophies. Do you know the university won the Greco-Roman Wrestling Championship in '89? I did not. We haven't won since. Such a pity. There are more trophies in the hall. There are more trophies in the hall, as if you didn't know that, man who probably worked here longer than I have. Why do I always find you in front of this cabinet? They're pretty, don't you think? Excuse me? The wrestling trophies. Yes, I suppose they are. Such a point of pride for the university, right? Yes, of course. I mean, is this a airplane? Do you like Greco-Roman wrestling? Or were you a Greco-Roman wrestler? Can I inquire about your obsession with trophies? I want to win one! I mean, I want the university to win one in the discipline Greco-Roman wrestling. And what's preventing you from participating in a championship? I understand you're a good wrestler. Manager Taylor is the one to be embarrassed, like in '96. What happened in '96? Oxford humiliated us. They defeated all our wrestlers. Manager Taylor doesn't want that to be repeated. In his view, the most sensible thing to do is to not compete. Makes sense, right? Especially if they have me. I'm the best wrestler the university has had in years. I mean, that's not saying anything if they all lost the last time they did it. Anyway, I might be able to convince the manager. Maybe. I'd very much appreciate it. Tell him Oxford won't stand a chance against me. I'm big and relentless. And strong. You look strong, yes. Of course I do. The strongest in the university. Do you want to see it? Test me. There's no need, I trust you. Bring me a metal rod. I'll bend it for you. I don't have one, but don't worry. I'll do what I can to persuade Manager Taylor. Many thanks, Professor. I mean... wow. I am a professor, and this is a student, and they are so much taller than I. Jeez. Okay. Have a nice day, Mr. Lee. You too, Professor Moore. There we go. Right, what have we got else have we got around here? A plaque and a statue. It was a gift from Raymond Baxter, former pupil and famous sculptor. represents a certain Celt deity celebrating the winter solstice. The orders threatened to retire this pagan figure several times, to the pupils' dismay. Every 21st of December, they fill a century bowl with whiskey and parade in front of it, paying their respects. Have we got anything in here? No, we have nothing. I select an item and click on the I item to get description. Well, we haven't got anything. Henry Carter, Dean. Alright, okay. I mean, I could go inside the Dean's office, or I could look at these portraits. Sir Philip Abercrombie, illustrious professor of organic chemistry and candidate for the Nobel Prize in 1903 for his work on brain connections. John Thomas Oglevar, best surgeon in London Hospital between 1880 and 1890. When he retired, he donated huge quantities of medical material, which we still use today for internships. You mean he gave us a load of corpses? Hello, Raymond Price. That portrait is probably of the current Dean. My colleague, Nelson Ward. Oh, okay. Former Chief Coroner at Scotland Yard and one of the most distinguished figures in the faculty. Alright, okay. Raymond Price. Prince Price. Professor Moore. Studying? Yes. Well, no. I'm reading a treatise on medieval churches, and let me see. My dear Gregory, I am telling you the exact truth. I believe I am now acquainted with the extremity of terror and repulsion which a man can endure without losing his mind. I'm sorry, Don't worry, Mr. Price. Don't be ashamed of reading M.R. James. Very good writer. Did enjoy that stuff. He is a national treasure. Continue with your reading. Thank you, Professor Moore. Yes. I'm trying to remember any of the names of the stuff that M.R. James did. Can I remember a single one? Of course not. That would be, useful in this conversation. But I haven't listened to their works, because I've heard it read out rather than read the books. Although I think there was an M.R. James thing that I read in a collection. But anyway, into the door, or knock on the door. Knock and enter without waiting for the word enter. Ah, Professor Moore. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dean Carter. Rector Williams, a pleasure. Good afternoon, Professor Moore. You can get a chair from the back end. That won't be necessary. This meeting will be brief. Explain the facts, Dean Carter. Look. This week, the university received a generous donation for the metaphysics investigation program run by you and Professor Ward. £5,000. 5? That's amazing. It would be, if not for a terrible event. We got it at the behest of somebody because they died. Well, that money has disappeared from the Bank of England. Oh no, that's even worse. What? We've demanded an explanation, and they've confirmed the money was withdrawn yesterday by your colleague. Oh no. How is that? I wanted to speak with Professor Ward, but he didn't appear today for his lectures. Let's try to remain calm, gentlemen. Professor might simply be... We've been trying to locate him all day. He's vanished. He's run off with the money. It's an unprecedented scandal. Are you sure it was Professor Ward? No. Who donated the money? I want to know that first of all. Who donated the money? No, we only know it's from a group of intellectuals from London society. Nothing else. Bears had no intention of making it public, and given the circumstances, they prefer to keep it that way. Well, congratulations to Professor Ward for pulling off the crime of the century, then. If they don't want it made public, then I guess the £5,000 are his. Not that you can live on it. Well, I mean, you could live on it for the rest of your life. But, I mean, it would be an okay life. It wouldn't be something that a professor would be up to the standard of, I don't think. Anyway, you sure it was Professor Ward? Are you sure it was Professor Ward? Somebody could have impersonated him. There are witnesses, and the danger with which the money was withdrawn is undoubtedly his. Lest we forget, his whereabouts are unknown. We believe in presumption of innocence and respect it, but in this case, I'm sorry, Professor Moore. This is the unvarnished truth. I mean, so what? Maybe he fell down the stairs while trying to get the £5,000 to us. Maybe he withdrew it all and got clonked on the head by somebody and is now dead somewhere and they're spending the money. Maybe I did it. And I'm not telling you. Anyway, why would he do it? I mean, for £5,000. Why would he do it? Why would he risk it all for £5,000? That is exactly what we're wondering. How could he withdraw the money? Yeah, he shouldn't have been able to. Surely. How could he withdraw the money? He's just a teacher. He shouldn't be authorised. At one time, he combined the teaching job with a position of deputy treasurer. That was years ago. He resigned. Nevertheless, he was still registered at the Bank of London. We suspect he took advantage of that to commit this crime. Maybe get to the point, Dean Carter. Yes. I'm sorry to tell you that as a result of this matter, the board is considering eliminating your metaphysics investigation department. The MID? Why would you try and do that? But that can't be. It is. My predecessor authorised this department because of the immaculate career of Professor Ward. Sir Archibald Ellsworth would roll over in his grave if he knew of this infamy. Surely you don't presume to hope to keep this nonsense going after what happened, did you? I can understand this discomfort with Professor Ward, but I'm part of the department too. It isn't fair that I should be blamed for the acts of which I'm not responsible. We know, Patrick, but... Patrick? You mean Professor Moore? And I would beseech you not to challenge the board. You can't just... Anyway, well, as a courtesy to you, wish you accept from your department to be as... Stop with this rubbish, Dean Carter. You have 72 hours to prove your ghost exists. If you don't present us with material proof by that deadline, forget about your department. 72 hours? That's not enough time to prove that no one has ever proven throughout the entire history of mankind. That is your problem. And express your thanks to Dean Carter. He's the one who proposed it. If it were up to me, I would break up that circus right now with my own hands. Damn it! We're the laughingstock of every university in the United Kingdom. Let them laugh all they want, Vice Chancellor Williams. They only display their ignorance. Do you want some advice? Forget about those ghost fancies and focus on your work as a teacher. You are the best teacher of forensic medicine in all London. Focus on your work, for God's sake. This is a serious institution. Superstition has no place here, and neither do your progressive ideas. Are you aware that we receive complaints from some student fathers because of your radical ideas? What's wrong with being a progressive? Isn't it part of the university motto? Knowledge, improvement, progress? Don't be a wise ass with me. Really, that's... Come on, get a more period-appropriate insult. And remember who you're talking to. "72 hours, Professor Moore. 72 hours. Hand in your badge and gun. Prepare yourself to say goodbye to a fantasy that never had any place in an institution as respectable as this one." Hours. 72 hours, Henry. It's humiliating. Why didn't they just close the department immediately? I have more bad news to tell you. Really? There is more? Your department has been sealed. Won't be able to make use of any of the resources inside. Damn it, Henry! Couldn't you... I can't. If someone sees you there, they'll know it was me who conceded. That would put me in an awkward situation. board is treating this matter very seriously. I don't want my position to be jeopardized. I beg you to understand. Yes, I do. Didn't mean to put you in a predicament. I'm sorry. I know the search for the great beyond is your life. I'm sure adversity will stretch your intellect even further. I don't know how. I've tried to find proof. Please. When it's strong enough, I'll show it to the board and they'll be forced to keep the department open. If, in 72 hours, they can find a proof of ghosts, of life after death, I think, maybe it might go to a position, to a council, a chamber, a thing slightly higher than just the board. You know, it might fundamentally rewrite our understanding of how the world works. So, you know, there is that, and also you will keep your job. But yeah, alright. And speaking of currency, as they were in this, I had a thing. I wish I could pull it out right now, but I got some of the new Prince Charles notes. Yes. Oh, not Prince Charles anymore, sorry. Good old King Charlie. He's so yeah, I got some of his got some notes with his face on it. If only I had it to hand so that I could show it up here. But yeah, no, and then I could show it on here, and you could all make good forgeries of it. Yeah, that's exactly what would happen, right? But yeah, it was weird and different, and there was a male face on a note where there was usually female notes or female faces on the note. And at first, I didn't look at it too hard. I just thought, oh, that's the back of the note with that guy who's on the back of the note. And I looked at it again and I went, no, hang on a minute. That's the front of the note, and there's a male face on there. And it's weird and different. And you know, it's the first time that's happened in my lifetime, in 40 years. But, I mean, chances are that it will happen again before the end of my life. Because, you know, King Charles, not exactly spring chicken. Fully expect his offspring to take over before I am dead. So yeah, there we go. There's that. Let's see, is there anything in here? There's books. There's Henry Carter. There's a door, which we can't go through. Oh, there's another door, which we can go through. There's a big old tapestry underneath my head. Oh, let's have a look at this shelf. How many of these have you written? Just the ones on the first shelf. And one of the second one too. Ghost, Reality or Myth by Dr. Henry Carter. Does Williams know you wrote this one? Oh yes. He's even read it. Has he? Well, actually only the prologue. And he gave me a lecture with more words than are in the book. Alright, what's in this book? The Jewel of Seven Stars by Bram Stoker. The Great God Pan by Arthur Machen. And A Glass Darkly by Joseph Sheridan Lefan. Williams would be angry if he saw you devoted time to these readings while working. Ah, these books? Just received an order from that new library near the London Archaeological Society. Do you know it? No. You should see for yourself. There are some genuine jewels. Indeed, there are 7 jewels. That's what it just said here. Oh, the Jewel of 7 Stars. Okay, so yes, there are some jewels. Alright, okay, well. There's also a globe. I wonder if Professor Ward is still in London. That's the same thing I want to know. I mean, I was just going to spin it and stab my finger into it and then go, he's here! And then, you know, jet off to Madagascar or somewhere. I mean, I presume that before you won't be able to prove the Great Beyond exists in such a short time without the Professor's help. I need to find him. Maybe I can discover something that will help me find him at his home in Dorset Street. I mean, if you can find the Professor, the whether he's got the £5,000 or not, then I think you're okay. All right. Never mind. Hey, Mr. Cook, tell me things. I didn't speak to you before I went in there. Mr. Cook. Yes? Did they order you to remove the portrait of Professor Ward? What do you think? I think yes. Exactly. I mean, that would only happen if they had told you why. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not if they told you why, but I mean, you could be ordered to do a thing without knowing why, but the fact that you responded with, what do you think? Makes me think that you know what's going on. Anyway, who ordered it? Who do you think? Vice Chancellor Williams? Exactly. Do you need help? I see you're finding it hard to remove a simple portrait. Do you think our cook isn't smart enough to take down a picture? Of course not. Exactly. Wait a moment, does that mean I am or am not? You are smart enough to take down a portrait. Ah, good. Some genius thought it would be better to attach the paintings with glue instead of a pair of hook screws. In his defence, I'll say that not for anything in the world would I have suspected one of these illustrious professors was a filthy thief. You've already been informed, have you? Sadly. Who would have thought it? It's not like it comes at a total surprise for frequenting the places he did. I've all managed to take down that portrait with no tool. One only needs to know how to apply force. Thus said Pythagoras, give me a place to stand and I shall move the world. That was Archimedes. You don't need to correct me. I'm not one of your pupils. Yeah, what kind of places did Professor Ward frequent? Pub for one, in the East End. Red Lion. Oh, that'll be easy to find then. It's not a generic name. Someone of his stature visiting such establishments, how embarrassing, and in the company of a tart. Okay, that's slightly more unusual. Which tart? A courtesan, I guess. They seem quite close. Gee, surely his accomplice. How do you know that? Rumours travel as fast as bad news. I need to find that woman. You might know where I can find Professor Ward. If you can find her, give her to the police. I already told you that it surely had something to do with money theft. I'm entirely certain you don't need any help with the portrait. Do you want me to help you marking exams? There's no need to. Exactly. Alright, okay, carry on. Alright. Well, can I go back into my classroom? Yes, time to interact with the anatomical skeleton. Need to be careful handling these anatomical skeletons because they're very fragile. Hey! Now I have... Oh, I have to do it the other way around, sorry. Part of the arm of an anatomical skeleton in 1-to-1 scale. You don't think it could be an actual skeleton, do you? Can I have another part of the skeleton? It would be better not to touch it again. Boo. It's full of flasks and test tubes, that cabinet. What is a flask of sulfuric acid doing here? It should be in the lab. Alright. A flask of sulfuric acid, very corrosive, handle with care. No, I might give that to the other guy, to Mr. Cook. No. Portrait. Queen Victoria's reign was so long, and her personality so present, no one dares to take down her portrait yet. Good King Edward the VII, crowned 6 years ago. Ah!
Snake just redeemed, sit on it and swivel.
Ah, well, I need to unplug before I can sit there and swivel!
Snake just redeemed, make me say a vowel.
No! Want me to say a vowel as well, alright. Oh, and another thing.
Snake just redeemed, hydrate.
No, cool. Alright, well, Let's go over here where I can say, hey, what do you want, hey? I wish I had something more to say than just hey again, but hey, just for you. Alright. Now, back over to the games. Oh, let us take a delicious, hydrating drink of water. Halfway to the football, we're looking, hey? What? Hey? What'd you say, mate? What'd you say? Hey? Yeah, you can do that as well. Right. What have we got going on here in the cabinet? Anything? First wardrobes are full of anatomy places. The rest are intended for school materials. I mean, anatomy. The top is Atlas of Human Anatomy by Dr. Oswald de Vries. I'm using it to illustrate my lectures. One on the bottom is The Empty House and Other Ghost Stories by Algernon Blackwood. It serves to help me evade them. What about you, Frank Lewis? Have you got anything to say? Is that piece of chalk clickable? No. Frank! Bad news, right? Worse. The board is threatening to close down the Metaphysical Investigation Department if I don't present irrefutable proof within 72 hours. Proof of what? Of the existence of the great beyond. Damn idiots. That's an impossible time frame. How dare they? That despicable Williams will end up getting what he wants. What do you think of what Professor Ward did? What do you think of somebody stealing £5,000 and running off with it? Are you asking me if I believe he's innocent? Is he? Well, what do you think? I think neither of us is answering a single question. I don't know, Patrick. Nelson Ward is famous for being eccentric and impulsive, but that, of course, doesn't make him a miscreant. So you do think he's innocent? Also, do you think he's innocent? Evidence for the crime is unequivocal, though simultaneously I believe that if he committed such misconduct, he must have had a good reason, not just a financial one. What reason? Maybe ghosts only appear if you burn £5,000 in their general vicinity. Maybe that's the reason, eh? What reason? I cannot begin to fathom. I only hope that it makes some sense. And I suppose you've seen any ghosts lately, have you? Something that I can use as proof within 72 hours? No? God willing, this would be easy, right? How long has the Metaphysics Investigation Department been running? 3? 4 years? 4. Oh, and they want proof within 72 hours? Neither want to nor intend to. If I haven't been given that time frame, it is because Henry interceded. If only you could succeed. I'd like to see the faces of those decrepit geezers when you show them undeniable proof. I mean, if you did show them undeniable proof, then they might change their attitudes and do, some good works as well, if they are decrepit old board. Don't think I knew Professor Ward well enough. They had a very close relationship, but it was purely professional. I don't know a single thing about his life apart from him being from the chief coroner of Scotland's Yard before becoming a teacher. If I had taken even a mild interest in him, I would have detected signs of what he would do. Don't punish yourself with that, Patrick. Nelson was very reserved. Had anyone in this faculty really got to know him? Who know who I can face his research against the clock? Or cloth? I don't want to be unthankful, but that's an endeavour doomed to fail. I mean, to this day, no one has been able to find any conclusive evidence of the existence of the great beyond. Perhaps in the future we could resolve the matter, but not in such a short time frame. I mean, there is certainly going to come if it were possible to prove, there will certainly be a point at which 72 hours is a reasonable time frame, or is a time frame in which it will be found. Because if you can prove it, then one instance is not proved, and the next instance it is. So up to 72 hours beforehand is not an unreasonable thing if you couldn't actually prove it. Not that I think that anybody could prove it. I don't believe in ghosts. Anyway, I need to find the professor. I can't do this alone. We were a team. How about asking for the help of the British Society of Paranormal Studies? I doubt they would assist. Neither the professor nor I are welcome there. Ah, because of that damn article. What about Richard? He always supported you. He could be a valuable ally in this quest. Charles? He's not in London at the moment. No? Damn. Any ideas? Might help with my research? Now that I think about it, Nasworth mentioned having found a place worth investigating. Do you remember where it could be? I think it was located in central London. A house, maybe? I don't recall. I was having a busy day when he told me about it, and I didn't pay enough attention. I'm sorry I'm not helping. Not to worry. I mean, you've narrowed it down to London, and not the rest of the world, so hey. Thank you for always supporting me. There are only two people who can prove the existence of the Great Beyond. One of them is Nelson. You are the other. You should always have my support in everything you do. Alright, I should get going then. If I can do anything for you. I understand, Frank, and I appreciate it. You know what, Frank? Would you like a skeletal arm? I doubt Frank has any interest in that. I mean, he might do. I don't want to melt that. No, sorry, yeah, I was actually trying to pick it up and see if Frank wanted a lovely vial of sulfuric acid. No, you don't think so? Alright. Well, I think maybe the sulfuric acid might deal with the glue problem. Or it might be too strong. Hello, would you like some sulfuric acid? Busy to be bothered by that. Alright, what if I pour it in the statue instead then? I can't do that. I mean, you can. It's very easy to. Alright, let's go out. Oh. Dawson Street, the University, the Red Lion. Location not available in this demo. I just want to go down. Just want to go down the pub and have a few drinks with my mates, eh? Is that too difficult? Is that something that's just not allowed here? Come on. That's it, room number 4. So you're a friend of Professor Ward. Exactly. And he's vanished. Sadly. Do you want to examine it? Why do you want to examine his room? Are you from Scotland Yard? No, I'm a professor, such as he. I only want to have a look to see if there's anything which could enlighten me as to his whereabouts. Ah, that makes sense. Why is it so dark? I mean, it is very dark. Why is this corridor so dark? The electricity company convinced me to install this new light system in the house. Didn't tell me the price would be double compared to gaslight. That's what progress means, you know. Progress for the usual suspects. Those in power. Told the tenants not to use the corridor light unless they want my bills to start affecting their rent. When was the last time you saw him? I know he went out last evening. I was in bed when I heard his footsteps on the stairs. You haven't seen him since then? No, sir. Did you notice anything strange about him? Was he like rubbing money all over his face and going, "Wahaha! I have stolen £5,000 from the university"? Or anything like that? No? Yes? Did you notice anything strange about him? Of course I noticed. But not only yesterday, always. He's a strange man. Though a very polite one. How I wish the rest of the tenants were as courteous as him. Alright, yep. Well, I like that. Yes, I did notice something strange about him. All of the time, because he was strange. That is a nice touch. It's curious that he lived here. I mean, his salary was high enough he could afford him a better place than this. This hovel? Is that what you wanted to say? Didn't mean to offend you, Mrs. Dawson. No, you would be right. This is a hovel. It's the classiest hovel in all of East End. Why, the biggest rooms for 4 blocks. Would you do me the kindness of lending me to the keys in the room? I don't have it. How is that? Professor Ward was a bit forgetful. Asked for my copy of the key in case he lost his. Won't be the first time that happened. So he's got 2 keys, and me none. That's it. How can I get into his room? You wait for the locksmith to come tomorrow. I'm afraid I don't have that much time. Or you can try to open the door yourself. I won't complain. But please, try not to break it. Be downstairs if you need me. 2 things. 1, I've got a skeleton key! And 2, the largest room within 4 blocks. Yes, you Americans. We don't have blocks. That's not how we refer to things over here. And even if we did use the term blocks over here, London is a higgledy-piggledy mess. There aren't blocks. Alright, okay. Well, here's a plaque. A3? There's a lamp. The lamp is off. Well, I know, but I can turn it on. 1 moment. There's something inside the lamp. Ah. You can't reach it. Can you reach it if you use an arm? You can use a skeleton arm to carefully remove the crystal from the lamp. It's a crystal, is it? Damn, it's not long enough. Maybe a little jump will help. What was that? Damn. Nothing. I mean, I told you I was trying to get in. What was that noise? My monocle fell. My word! I was so surprised my monocle popped out of my eye. Good heavens! What kind of monocle do you wear? A single-use monocle. Phew. Alright, I don't... There's a key here. Well, alright. Don't need a skeleton key. I'll pick up the broken crystal. I won't have to explain it to the landlady. I mean, she'll never notice. Where can I hide the criminal evidence? In this pot plant over there? Ah! No, in the vent. Alright, okay. Nothing to see here. I'd rather keep the corridor lit. I mean, I'd rather turn it off so she doesn't know that I've been using a thing and then notice that the light is broken. Alright. Daisies! Give me your heart's adieu. Room number 4. Professor Ward lived here. There's nothing inside the vent. Yes, there is. You just put fragments of the crystal inside there. Except for the broken crystal from the lamp. Thank you. The rules of the house. Rent is paid on the first day of each month. Breakfast will be served from 7 to 8 AM. No animals allowed. Out of respect, the rest of the tenants, silence is requested beyond 10 PM. In case of theft, the landlady is not responsible for the personal belongings of the tenants. The use of opiates is strictly forbidden inside the rooms. Any such infraction will be immediately reported to the police. This is a decent house. Partners from the opposite sex are strictly forbidden. Especially same-sex partners. Partners of the opposite sex are prohibited, especially partners of the same sex. I mean, I don't know how you have a partner of the opposite sex who is the same sex. Alright. And oh dear heavens, not the monocle. Indeed, the monocle. Yes. In case of infringement of these rules, the landlady has the right to immediately rescind the rental agreement. No one was allowed. Silence from 10. Responsible for the belongings. Opiates. Infraction. Partners of the opposite sex. Distant partners from the opposite sex are strictly forbidden, especially same-sex partners. I mean, that makes no sense. But alright. Wording. Closed. I mean, not closed, but locked.
Snake just redeemed loud noises.
Oh, loud noises. I think from here it would be... as you would hear if you were, you know, overhearing great professors all talking and in their places. So yes. And yes, I realise the door is closed. That is why I clicked on it, because I wanted you to try it. What you really need to say there is locked. Alright. Oh, the arm has disappeared. Apparently the arm broke as well. Oh well. Okay, we have... I mean, alright, there are people, birds outside the window, but I'm just looking at that. I mean... That is supposed to be a Jesus portrait, right? What with the halo and everything and the sort of hands up in the weird positions. I mean, oh my god. I know there are limitations within the pixel art medium, but really, that's just a smiling guy. Alright, let's look at the map. Map of Central London, where the professor has marked several places worth investigating. Red circle around one of them. Oh good, did I get the... No? Alright, what's in the chest? There's an old oil lamp. I'll take it. Alright, anything else? Can I use it on the map? Scientifically impossible. Alright, if you say so. Here's a bed. Doesn't look very comfortable. No, the professor wouldn't care. I seem to fall asleep between classes in the most unimaginable places. There's a cross. The professor is an atheist. So I gather the crucifix was already here when he arrived. I mean, could he not have taken it down? I think the bastard would rest better under the watchful eye of Darwin than under Jesus. Yeah, okay, so that is meant to be Jesus. Alright, fine, whatever. Shoo! Oh, they went away. The street is full of tramps and drunkards. Must have felt more comfortable among them than his colleagues. Alright. Desk with a book. An apple core here. Candle, a bottle, an ink. Well, maybe? What have we got on the shelf then? That junk book stands out. I'm glad you pointed it out because it didn't stand out to me. Let's see what's in it. Junk. Copper wire reel that may come in handy. Right. Well, it's too rusty. Is that too rusty? Is that what you're saying? Wire is coated in a layer of rust, though it doesn't show any signs of corrosion. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can combine it with the acid. Oh, the fuel lamp has a bit of fuel. Okay. What if I do this? I shall remove all the rust from the copper wire thanks to the acid. And I did it all in my jacket. Keep the empty flask, I may need it later. Yeah, who knows when you might need to huff hydrochloric acid fumes, eh? Crystal flask, simple thick crystal flask. And you, no trace of rust on the copper wire. I mean, maybe I wanted that rust. But yeah, I mean, somehow combining the rust and the hydrochloric acid in my jacket was safe. Hey, there we go. There's a notebook on the desk. The house on Benwell Street. It is discouraging to discover that all the places worth investigating were in the end either frauds or a waste of time. I mean, fraud's a waste of time as well, and I don't understand how it would be a waste of time if it wasn't a fraud. Anyway, however, I found a location that, if my inquiries are correct, could afford a unique opportunity to me, and my colleague, Professor Moore. It is an old, impressive building located at 34 Benwell Street. Its original owner was Thomas Highmore, a widower, philanthropist, who lived in the house during the early years of the last century. So you took the money out so that you could take it to the ghost philanthropist and see if it would get him to reappear so that you could redistribute it to the poor. I understand. Alright, makes sense. Anyway, lived in the house during the early years of the last century. After his death, his heirs rented the house to several tenants. One of them, Frederick Price, reported strange blows coming from the basement to the police. Perhaps? An officer corroborated the fact, to which he added, as is stated in his report, that several objects in the room started to slowly move without human intervention. I mean, it could be the wind, particularly as you use the word blows. Anyway, a police report that confirms unexplained supernatural phenomena, contrary to the account of a normal witness, which is always an act of faith that is considered believable. This changes everything. I mean, police are just as susceptible as ordinary humans, for want of a better term there. Anyway, no police officer of sound mind would cast doubt on his professionalism by falsely signing a report such as this. So we can be sure this is an account we can accept, and that's a very valuable one, putting a lot of faith in the police there. ACAG, all cops are gullible. Anyway, terrified, the Prices left the house 2 months later. The place was taken by Benjamin Jones by searching through the documents of the estate agency that managed that property, and a report stating that the tenant abandoned the house 4 weeks later due to constant unspecified occurrences in the basement. Perhaps he heard about there were blows in the basement, and it wasn't the kind of blows he was hoping it was, and so he quit in protest. In my investigation, I found 2 other cases with that basement as the epicenter of a supernatural activity. I've yet to verify them. Still haven't informed Patrick about this. We could be dealing with another dead end, and if somebody has to waste their time with this, I'd rather it be me. My instinct, though, tells me 54 Benwell Street is the place we've been dreaming of all these years. Professor Nelson Ward, October 14th, 1907. I'm glad that you've done 5 of 5 pages. Well, there we go. 34 Benwell Street. New place added. Let's go. Oh. No. Is that the end of the demo? Seances. Oh, down in the docks. Ultimately to a henge or standing stones of some description, and then back at the beginning. Thanks for playing an English Haunting demo. Please consider an English Haunting on your Steam wishlist. I mean, that was so short that I am not certain if I would consider it or not. It doesn't. I mean, it gives me an idea of the flavour of it, and it's. I don't want to say filled with anachronisms, but if I look at Steam, I'm going to look it up on Steam quickly and just have a look and see if I can see English Haunting and just see. Can I in any way see if this was made by an American? I don't know. Because, I mean, so if I am playing something that is called an English Haunting, then I want to play an English Haunting and not something that refers to blocks and... Oh, I'll be interested to see 1907. No, we're not doing decimalisation then, so we're pounds, shillings and pence, so I'd be interested to know how they figured all that stuff out, or whether they just didn't use money at all. I mean, there was £5,000, but you know, we still use pence. But still, yeah, this one gets a, if not a thumbs down, then a, I'm definitely not going to buy it at full price, and I would be hard pressed to buy it at something. Oh, it's for sale already. I would be hard pressed to buy it at its current price of £11.99 English pounds, and maybe I would spend a couple of quid on it. So if it was down like 90% to £1.99 or £1.19, £1.20, or that would be 10%, or you know, something down there. And I would not spend a lot of money on this particular one just because it's called an English Haunting and it doesn't feel very English at all. So yeah, that is an unfortunate reality sometimes. Demos are not. Which shows your limitations rather than that. And, you know, it's just a point-and-click adventure. It's nothing that has jumped out at me as a special point-and-click adventure. There's no new things in here. There's nothing to grab my attention, particularly. So yeah, unfortunate, but there we go. Alright, well, let's go over here quickly while I say yes. We will be doing a third demo, so bear with me 1 second while, you know, we'll go to the ultra professional stream is over thing. But as I say always, thank you for being here, whether you're here live and in person or later on the VOD. The fact that you're here for any amount of time means that I appreciate you. You are amazing. Never let anybody tell you any different. So yeah, we will be back in, you know, 30 seconds or so when I have changed the thing that says an English haunting to something else. We'll have a look at this. We'll be right back. So stay right there.